We are back, baby. My brothers, nobody liked Aether Drift. That's what it seems like to me. You know, I've been a little out of the discourse. I've been studying for a board exam, and I passed it. I smashed it, dude. Oh, smashed it. So I've lived and breathed that for the past couple weeks, but I'm back, baby. And it appears Sarkhan is coming with me. No, I'm not exactly surprised that Aether Drift kind of flopped out there. I look at basically all these sets through the lens of, for myself, I look at what's new, what's good, what are the reprints. I picked up a few things, maybe a little less than usual, but I snagged a couple copies of that Rod Hulk for sure, dude. Such a cool card that wasn't super available prior to this reprint. Other than that, it's fine. I think a lot of the old school Magic players don't really want these Jump the Shark, Simpsons Go to Bangladesh type of sets. We had Cowboys, we had Detective Noir, we had Haunted House, Ghostbusters, 80s types of sets, but people want fantasy. That's what we come here for. It's a fantasy game. We want dark fantasy type of sets. I mean, there are all kinds of people out there. I'm not trying to generalize, but the loudest voices I hear are kind of clamoring for a return to these distinct planes without the settings being defined by what type of hat Rakdos and Zimone are wearing. It's just narratively shallow. It feels cheap. Aw, sheesh, some little skank from Strixhaven is solving mysteries on Ravnica. Aw boy, Loot the Tribble Squirrel from a vault is driving a Ferrari through Kaladesh or something. It just doesn't feel real, As you guys know, I hate Planeswalkers too, man. I don't really hate them, but I don't really get into Planeswalkers too much, but I also don't get into hate too much. I try to moderate that type of language. You don't want to be out there being a hater. That's the problem with YouTube. Everything is either hyped to the moon or it's all rage bait. I don't really feel that, I'm a moderate. I chew directly in the center of my mouth, all right? I'm right down the middle of things. Anyways, I dislike Planeswalkers. I dislike the slowdown effect they have in the game. I dislike the old school ones with game-breaking ultimates that make them a big threat, so everybody on board has to discuss it. You have to attack the Planeswalkers. Are you going to attack the Planeswalker? I don't like the characters coming back set after set either. Kind of breaks the immersion for me. One of the best things they did in March of the Machine Aftermath was to just give these Planeswalkers legendary creature status. And I'm glad to report we're back with some Tarkir favorites. They are their own legendary creatures. The showcase looks nice and all is right with the world, dude. We can move on from this Aether Drift. But bros, and the hot ladies who watch videos about Magic, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Costs you nothing, but gives me literal eternal life. Hit those buttons. And as always, we are 100% funded by bros. No corporate sponsors. And I'm going to stay that way. No Russian dark money here, brother. Let's check these guys out. We're going to take a look at some of the revealed showcases, the legends. You can judge for yourself if they're worth a damn. Sarkhan is back. Take a look at this guy. Hates wearing shirts, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't wear shirts either if I had nips like that. Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. 1 in a red, legendary creature, human druid. It's a 2/2. When it enters, you may behold a dragon, which is what they say when I open my trousers, brother. Behold it. Anyways, if you do, create a treasure token. And to behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. Whenever a dragon you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan. Until end of turn, it becomes a dragon, in addition to its other types, and gains flying. Very cool card. It's a weird ramp in a dragon deck, just a treasure token. It's for sure efficient, and can be a sweet beater later on in the game. This dude transforms like Caitlyn Jenner into a damn dragon, brother. If you can loop dragons in and out, or if you have a mass reanimation strategy like in a Scion of the Ur Dragon deck, this can get real big. Plus, it counts tokens. If you got a new Vara Hellkite out there making tokens, get on in there, Sarkhan. Overall, we're off to a very good start here. Notice how he's not wearing a Gilligan's Island hat or a sombrero or something. It's just pure legendary creature on his plane of origin doing Sarkhan stuff. It's kind of what attracted me to Magic in the first place. It's the contextual storytelling. You take a look at a card, you can see what's going on with it. You see a cool character, he's doing stuff on the battlefield. You can lore dive later if you want. This guy's just doing his thing, man. I like it. Take a look at this guy, Beator, Ancestor's Voice, 2 white, black and a green, legendary creature Spirit Dragon. It's a 3/5, has flying and lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on up to 1 other target creature you control, equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. Return up to 1 target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you lost this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ah man, I love this guy for 5 mana. It's a counters theme, right? It's a lifelink theme. It's a reanimator theme. Lots of ways to lose life in black. I would pack lifelinkers, not lifelingerers, to bring back. Ways to lose life for the whole table, you know, some group slug, self-mill. It's a very deep legend for a build-around. Very Abzan. It also looks pretty cool, too. He's appropriately big and mean-looking. And then we got Narset, the Jeskai Waymaster. Blue, red, white, legendary creature, human monk. It's a 3/4. Pretty good stats for 3 mana if you ask me. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of spells you cast this turn. Narset is back, and she's a silver fox, dude. Looks a little older. And honestly, man, that's my jam, dude. I grew up on the Golden Girls, you know what I mean? If I could have dated Betty White, I would. I still would. This is really cool. Excellent in decks where you're paying off all that draw. Would be great with little cantrips, little cheap little spells. I mean, come on, man. These colors. You have everything you need to really storm off with tons of spells. It's a crazy card, unique build around. You know, overall, pretty neat. Glad she's not a planeswalker. Alright, take a look at this one. Shiko, Paragon of the Way. 2 blue, red, and a white. Legendary creature, Spirit Dragon. It's a 4/5 with flying and vigilance. When it enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. It's a weird little dragon. Great in blink colors. I don't know, man. That's all I can say about it. It's going to be a neat deck. I'm sure there are some loops you could do with it. Some little combo fiends out there are going to figure that out, I'm sure. Probably some instant speed sacrifice outlets. You got your Fiend Hunter loops out there. Off the top of my dome here, it seems like a pretty neat little card. And take a look at this one. Tevel, the Balanced Scale. 1 black, green, and a blue. Legendary creature, Spirit Dragon. It's a 4/4, has flying. Whenever it attacks, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. This is great, though keep in mind it is 1 or more, so if you reanimate 2 dudes, you only get 1 zombie druid. Again though, looping a grave crawler with a Phyrexian altar, it's going to pay off all that with zombies, which you can sack for aristocrat payoffs or whatever you want, or you can just build into those reanimator effects. Pretty nasty spiritual dragon. Getting that land back from the graveyard is pretty dope, man. About to release my spiritual dragon right now, you feel me? Yeah, that's the spirit dragon. You don't want to release your dragon all over the place. You put down the towel first. Alright, check this out, man. We have some Chase Mythic free artifacts because it's Wizards, right? They got to do a set. They're going to do a Chase Mythic free artifact out there, and it's the Mox Jasper. 0 for a legendary artifact, has tap, add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control a dragon. I mean, if you can get your hands on one, no downside. If your commander is a dragon or a changeling or something like that. Although if this comes down early, it doesn't really ramp you ahead. You got to have something out there. You got to have a dragon changeling out there. Time will tell how people break this free artifact in half. Free artifacts in general are pretty good for your artifact decks as well. Oh man, I thought they weren't doing Storm anymore. Well, tell you what, brother, they are. The Storm Scale Scion. 4 red, creature dragon. It's a 4/4 with flying, of course. Other dragons you control get +1/+1. It's a dragon lord, but it also has Storm. So when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it. This turn, copies become tokens. Some dragon storms pass without a trace. Others can conquer worlds. The card is pretty nuts, you know. Cast this off of Jeska's Will or something like that enables that storm, man. I like this card a lot. It's probably going to be quite pricey. You don't see a lot of dragon lords like this either. And there are some other cards over on the previews. You can take a look at them over on Moxfield or Scryfall or whatever you like looking at these things on. You know, but that's the previews I'm going to cover today. And I'm pretty happy we got something other than a theme set. The next one is the Planeswalkers and Zimone going down the deep dark dungeon of P. Diddy's basement, dude. Get some sweet artifacts and creatures down there. I am 100% sure you'll see some creatures you've never seen before. But listen, why don't we take a break from all that? Let's go back to Tarkir. Some Dragon Storm, man. You bros, listen, you guys got to take care of each other, alright? If you follow the news lately, it's been a wild ride, man. I'm sitting in my house just getting dizzy from all that nutty stuff going on. I figure if I stand real still, nobody's going to notice me. I'm just going to keep making videos about Magic the Gathering. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.